Here we go. Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Here we have another crazy story. Another crazy story. MURDA. For those who don't know, MURDA. I mean, imagine that. Was he? Was he on NBA YoungBoy Lover back then? At the time of his arrest, I don't know. Maybe not that high up. Imagine that. But either way, they're from New Orleans. You heard me? But here's a story of MURDA right here. You heard me?
You heard me. Know what I'm saying? The 4-4. We got choppers inside the ship, but we can't bring them out because all the kids in this early launch. You know what I'm saying? But this side go down right here. We represent for my nigga Joe. CP3.
Okay.
You know, this is real, man. That mean protection. That mean retaliation. That mean you gotta live by the gun. You did. You gotta die by the gun. You heard me?
It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. Imagine that. Imagine living by the gun and dying by the gun. It sounds like a movie. But either way, MURDA, he's really in jail right now. It's not a movie. It's reality. He's in there because he's been accused of unaliving somebody at a young age. Imagine that. Let's get back to it, though. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe button. You heard me? Imagine that. You heard me?
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got all that jewelry, but I got buku ammo.
Okay.
Buku ammo.
Corey Miller, MURDA, was born on March 9, 1971, in New Orleans, Louisiana. He grew up in the Callio Projects. He initially gained fame in the mid-1990s as a part of his brother's masterpiece label, No Limit Records. Miller was one of the members of True, aka the Real Untouchables group, which originally consisted of him and two other rappers. Both of them
Make
were
him
his
say,
brothers,
huh?
Master P and Silk the Shocker. Miller released several solo albums of his own through the label. In 1998, he released his album, Life or Death. It went
What I could never figure out, why these individuals want two jobs. You would think that MURDA, he should have just stuck to being a rapper. But no, he wanted to be in the streets too. Imagine that. I'm trying to figure out, was he getting paid more as a rapper? Or was he getting paid more for being in the streets? I don't know, I'm just talking, that's it. But either way, MURDA, he's in an unfortunate situation right now. He's in his 50s locked up. When he was in his 20s, he was living good. Imagine living good in your 20s. In your 50s, you locked up. Imagine that. Let's get back to it, though.
platinum. And looking back right now, the title of the album is quite ironic. The album peaked at number 3 on the US Billboard 200. In 1999, he released his album Bossellini.
Okay.
The album also did really great, selling over 175,000 records its first week. It eventually was certified gold. It had a lot of great guest appearances like Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, Corrupt, and Daz Dillinger. Year after that, he released his third album, Trapped in Crime, in 2000. I'll talk about this album later on, but this album is pretty wild to me. Everything from its name to its album cover. The album also had a lot of great special guests, like Fat.
Here's the thing right here, to be honest. MURDA, he's from New Orleans. He's from New Orleans. You know what I mean? I can't talk properly right now. What I said, New Orleans? He's from New Orleans. But either way, back then, MURDA, in New Orleans back then, things was different. All these individuals believed in, believe it or not, it's a terrible thing, was violence. So MURDA, he grew up around that life right there. Violence. But here's the thing right here. Not only the violence occurred to those individuals in New Orleans, a lot of them went to jail. And MURDA, he's just another one. Only difference is he's famous. He's a rapper. Imagine being rich in jail. Is it better to be rich in jail or poor? I don't know. I'm just talking. That's it. Let's get back to it, though. Corey Miller.
Snoop Dogg, his brother Silk,
Okay.
and lots more. The album went number 9 on Billboard 200. It became his third straight album to land in the top 10 on the Billboard 200 chart. Probably one of his most known songs to this day was from this album. Its hook went on to be used years later by the one and only Kanye West.
Okay.
In 2001, he released his last album with No Limit Records, and also while being a free man. The album was called CP3.com.
This the Cali
Okay.
project right here, you heard me? This is CP3, all that shit y'all be hearing about on them songs.
After the release of his third and fourth project,
Okay.
MURDA was at the top of the game, money.
A lot of these individuals, for whatever reason, just because they're from the projects, they feel like they got to be tough guys. Imagine because you're from the projects, You feel like you have to be a tough guy. Is that what happened to C Murder? Most likely. Don't forget, these projects, sometimes they have dangerous reputations. Imagine that. I don't know why they believe in violence, but they do. But as you can see, violence, only thing gets you into a bad situation. Imagine getting into a bad situation over violence. Let's get back to it, though.
House,
Okay.
you name it. He was living the dream, but all of his dream life that he built for himself will soon come crashing down. See, when you rise to the top and have a possibility to finally leave the situation you come from, you leave. All of the life that you lived before, especially coming from the streets, has to be left behind.
Okay.
Even though he had the right guidance by his brothers, who went on to have successful careers, C couldn't separate himself from the hood. As mentioned before, C grew up in the Calliope projects. The project was built between 1939 and 1941. The early days of Calliope consisted of people who were from working class families, who lived comfortably and were saving enough funds to...
They said the projects was supposed to be a place for individuals to get on their feet. You know what I mean? What I mean is, like, it wasn't supposed to be pissy hallways and graffitis on the walls and individuals hanging out in the hallways. But it became like that. As the generations went by, the projects kept on getting worse and worse. Imagine that. Let's get back to it. It was a terrible thing. I'm from the projects. Imagine that.
Their own home.
Okay.
Unfortunately, since the early 1980s, rival drug dealing street gangs have operated in and around the Calliope area. The violence escalated in the late 80s and peaked in early 1990s. From 1994 to 2004, 88 people were killed in the Calliope projects.
Okay.
Throughout the early and mid 90s, it got so bad to the point where Calliope projects got a nickname, murder capital of the United States. It had the highest per capita homicide rate.
And I'm saying murder has to
Okay.
be a young killer with a lot of sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Imagine that.
But even at this
Imagine
point, Corey
that.
would still consider this as home.
Imagine that. Calliope projects. See, Murder, he said, you know what? I'm from the streets. I want to be around the fellow criminals. I mean, you know, I want to be, you know, I'm just talking. That's for entertainment purposes. But either way, they said, see, Murder, he don't want to hang around the mansion all the time. Imagine getting tired of being in the mansion. If C Murder was tired of being in the mansion, he's definitely tired of being locked up in that jail cell right now. Imagine that. It's a terrible thing if you think about it.
No matter how bad it got.
One of the benefits of living in a project is then hurricane time, you ain't got a trip because them bricks ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
You ain't got a trip.
He didn't want to leave his past friends behind. He said he would have felt like a traitor, turning his back.
One of the terrible things about being locked up in prison, when it's hurricane time, it's made out of bricks. You don't got to worry about nothing. You don't got to trip. Imagine that. C Murder, he ain't tripping in jail.
His day ones.
Okay.
He was a real dude, but all of this realness will be the main thing that lead to his downfall in the end.
You down, you down. You my nigga, you my nigga. If you ain't, you ain't. That's just how the fuck it is.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Ain't no bullshit in a nut. So
Nothing.
y'all gonna just see, look in the nigga eye and see what a nigga about, you heard?
In an
Okay.
interview, his brother Master P mentioned that at the peak of his career, even while having mansions at
You heard me?
suburbs, cars worth millions of dollars, he would still go back to the hood just to chill and do whatever. He
Okay.
even bought himself and his friends an apartment there just to chill.
Being in the hood more than I be anyway, you know.
Okay.
Still trying to do what I gotta do. So why not have my own spot there? Still, you heard me? It's 2-bedroom, 2 stories, 3rd floor Calliope style.
Okay.
He loved the hood, and the hood loved him. He was active.
Imagine that. 2 bedrooms. I mean, 2 floors. Imagine that. Right now, C Murder, he only has 1 jail cell. Imagine that. I mean, imagine C Murder had 2 jail cells. Would that make a difference? Imagine that. Imagine having 2 jail cells in jail. I never thought about that. I wonder if he would set up jail cells different. Imagine that. Imagine setting up 2 jail cells different.
And doing all the things
Okay.
he did before becoming platinum album selling millionaire hip hop superstar. Being in this environment ultimately led him to get into more and more trouble.
I'm just like them. See what I'm saying? Ain't no motherfucker coming back, nigga ain't never left. Shit be with you. take a nigga out the hood, you can't take the hood out the nigga.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
She murdered a real person because he hang with my people in the cut.
Okay.
We'll see. One love.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? True soldier to the game.
To the game.
You know, murder, you know, he do everything. It be like love.
Okay.
You know, he don't forget about us. Party with us. Do
Okay.
everything with us. He don't forget. Smoke with us. Chill.
Okay.
You know, we do everything. It's like he one of us. He a part of us. You heard me? He true.
You heard me?
He all you to the gang. You heard me?
Okay.
Corey Miller, known to many of you as C. Murder, has spent more than a decade in prison.
In late 2001,
Okay.
C. Murder was starting to get into some
Have to admit, his name being C. Murder, does that play a role in anything? I have to admit. Your name being C. Murder, I'll be honest. Your name being C. Murder and not going to jail for murder is kind of crazy. Imagine that. That's kind of like my name being Mr. Hamburger, and I never ate a hamburger before. Imagine never eating a hamburger before. Your name is Mr. Hamburger. I'm just talking.
serious
That's it.
trouble, facing aggravated burglary
Okay.
and aggravated assault with a firearm charges. And even though this type of charges are
Mr.
not the
Hamburger.
ones to mess with, C couldn't even
Imagine
imagine
that,
what was
Mr.
coming
Hamburger.
for him very, very soon. His real, or quote-unquote, really serious problems with the law started on August 15, 2001. C and his crew went to a club called
Okay.
Club Rags in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Shortly after arriving there, a security guard asked to search him. C refused to be searched. Following his refusal, owner came to the front of the club and told C. Murder that
Okay.
he can't let him inside with a gun. Miller then, allegedly, tried to shoot the owner of the club as well as the bouncer.
Imagine
The
that.
incident was even caught on tape. After firing one shot, luckily his gun jammed, and nobody got seriously injured or
C. Murder's a bad man. Imagine being a bad man and a rap at the same time. So it's fair to say C. Murder, he was a hard worker. Multitasker. 2 jobs at the same time. Gangster, rapper. But here's what reality is right now. C. Murder, he's trying to be free. Free me. I mean, he's not saying like that. You know what I mean. I just say that for just to sound funny. Imagine saying free me just to sound funny. Let's get back to it, though. It's serious. C. Murder was caught on camera pulling a firearm. Imagine that. These individuals say, you know what? I'm a good boy. And you mess around, you see them on camera pulling a firearm. These individuals. I wonder why. I wonder why C. Murder didn't enjoy being a rapper. That money wasn't coming fast enough it was. I mean, was C. Murder watching the episode of Scarface before he went out? I don't know. Imagine that he want to be rich, famous, and violent at the same time. Imagine that. C. Murder probably want to have 3 jobs.
he later turned himself in and was released on bond. You
Okay.
could say that he got lucky that time, but this luck will very soon run out.
Okay.
On January 12, 2002, not even 5 months later after his initial arrest, C and his crew went to Platinum nightclub in Harvey, Louisiana. On that particular night, there was a rap battle going on.
Okay.
16-year-old Steve Thomas was one of the participants in the rap battle contest. As one of the bouncers recalled, Steve was a cool guy. He wanted to be a rapper. It was packed. The music was loud, which is typical for a nightclub. C. Murder and his friends were hanging out in the booth, talking, drinking, and just having a good time.
Okay.
Thomas finished his set, and as soon as he stepped off the stage, a group of men attacked him. A fight breaks out. Security guard gets there and starts to break the fight up.
Have to admit, I used to always wonder why a 60-year-old was in the club, but now I know why. He was just there for a rap battle. Imagine that. He probably looked up to C. Murder. He probably wanted to be a rapper too. Imagine that. Imagine looking up to somebody. You heard me? Let's get back to it though.
Don't really know how and
Okay.
why Miller and his crew got into that fight, but C was there. Security guy grabs Corey from the back and asks him to chill, stop fighting. He answers, "Alright, cool big dog, cool." Just after finishing his last words, he gets back to fighting. As soon as Corey returned,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
single shot was fired. Crowd and all of the people in the club start to run towards
Okay.
exit, including C and his crew. Once
Imagine
everybody
that.
had cleared, Steve Thomas, 16-year-old kid who was trying to pursue his
It's a terrible thing. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. Imagine that. What a life to live. What a world. I mean, imagine that. Same crazy world. C. Murder, it's fair to say, he believed in violence. He named himself C. Murder. So it's fair to assume that, you know what? There's a good possibility that C. Murder, he's guilty. You see Murder on camera pulling the trigger. So it's fair to say he know how to pull triggers. Imagine that. Imagine know how to pull a trigger. I'm just talking, that's it.
Of becoming a rapper was just lying there,
Okay.
full of blood. He died from a single gunshot wound to the heart. It was a tragedy that should have been avoided. One of the security guards, Darnell Jordan, was taken to the detectives bureau. According to him, they showed him 6 pictures, asking him, "Who do you know in these pictures?"
Okay.
Security guard recognized one of them. It was none other than Corey Miller, aka
Corey.
C. Murder.
Corey.
After recognizing one of the 6 people, according to the security guard, he was asked to sign a paper. He thought nothing of it, signed, and that was it. He was released. But what Darnell didn't know is that police tricked him into signing a paper, which confirms that he saw C. Murder pressing the trigger and killing the innocent child, eventually becoming one of the key witnesses in the case. If the previous time he managed to get out on bond without anybody getting killed, this time it wasn't looking good for C. And if you think that after all of this ego and anger getting the best of you in not only one situation, but now 2, which even claimed an innocent child's life, you would get some sense in your mind and at least lay low. You couldn't be more wrong. 6 days after the shooting happened, on January 19, C. Murder was arrested. And maybe somebody would like to take a guess where? It was at the House of Blues in New Orleans. Not the club this time, but close enough. Once again, he was causing disturbance there.
They got me at first with a guilty verdict, but you know they did it wrong.
So it's fair to say C. Murder, for whatever reason, he wants to live a certain type of life besides being a rapper alone. Imagine that. It's fair to say he's definitely living a different life right now from being a rapper. Imagine that. Okay.
In January 2002, Miller was charged with second-degree murder. He pled not guilty. His murder trial began in September of 2003 in Louisiana. The security guy we just talked about, Darnell Jordan, testified for the prosecution. Under oath, he claimed that Miller shot Thomas. Back in 2018, he did state that he was pressured by detectives to testify. He was scared, detained, and locked in a hotel room by the police for refusing to testify against Miller. He recanted his testimony, but none of this mattered back in 2003. After 15 days of testimony, the jury came back with a guilty verdict. The sentencing for Miller's family was devastating. Being found guilty of murder charge in Louisiana means mandatory life sentence without parole. After the first trial, Corey Miller and his team started to work towards reclaiming his freedom. He hired Jennifer Witchery, private investigator. According to her, she investigated all facts, talked to all the lawyers, witnesses, and found that there is nothing that suggests that C killed the kid. There were no evidence apart from one witness who was tricked into signing the papers.
Y'all know I'm in JPCC. They got me at first with a guilty verdict, but you know they did it wrong. My spirit's up, my people behind me, you heard me? Pray for me and everything.
But either way, C. Murder, I think he's in Angola right now. Imagine that. I'm talking about the prison. I'm not talking about the country. They say Angola's not a normal prison. Imagine that. I mean, by the bayou. Imagine that. But let's get back to it, though. C. Murder, he's one of the main rappers that throw it all away in the beginning. I'll play another video for another rapper who threw it all away. Went from fortune to fame to shame and disgrace. And man's going from fortune and fame to shame and disgrace. But yup, that's what Corey Miller is. Corey Miller is. That's how he living right now. You heard me?
While investigating the case, they discovered that prosecutors improperly withheld criminal background information on 3 of their witnesses. New trial was granted by the judge in 2006, following this new finding. After serving 3 years, Corey not only got one more shot to prove his innocence, but also granted him house arrest till the new trial. He was allowed by the judge to promote his new, yet-to-be-titled CD and his novel, Death Around the Corner. All the visitors, including reporters, must get a permission to see Miller from the judge. He wasted no time outside, and while awaiting retrial, he released 3 albums. The Truest Shit I Ever Said in 2005, Screaming for Vengeance in 2008, and Calliope Click in 2009. Remember when at the beginning of the video, I mentioned how his Trapped in Crime 2000 album was so insane to me? Well, maybe now you understand why. Imagine being a judge, police officer, jury, or anyone for that matter, in that court, and hearing the guy who is charged with the murder and trying to prove his innocence is also the same guy whose rap name is C. Murder, has countless of records and albums, all of even talking about the crime, killing people, quote unquote, being trapped in crime. Album covers featuring him sitting in a jail cell, a whole album dedicated to his neighborhood, murder capital of the United States, and much more. Also, remember that shooting in 2001 at Baton Rouge, where Miller fired one shot at security guard and club owner, but saving himself from killing somebody when his gun jammed? Well, in 2009, on May 27, C pleaded no contest to 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. He was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison, with credit for time already served. Back to his shooting case, Corey Miller's retrial began in August 2009. At the retrial,
so it's fair to say Corey Miller, C. Murder, was one of the original bad boys. Imagine being an original bad boy in real life. Corey Miller wasn't satisfied with just being a rapper alone. He wanted to be feared. He wanted to be respected. Imagine that. Imagine wanting to be feared and respected, and you're just a regular, normal person. I have no idea why individuals want to be feared or respected. And I have no idea why individuals, after they commit their crimes, they want to get out instead of sitting down, relaxing with their pillow and stay there forever. But either way, C. Murder said he didn't do it. Imagine that. He said he didn't really see murder. And he said he didn't do murder. Imagine that. If you like this video, check out my other one. They say crime don't pay, but I see him do it. I see him do it. Unbelievable. Imagine that. They said C. Murder went from a millionaire in a mansion to a regular person in a jail cell, trying to get out like everybody else.